Centurions, and on a fairly bleak and overcast day here at Galvin Park this afternoon should be a fantastic match. Werribee Central's currently sitting on second spot on the ladder, 4 wins and 1 loss, and Bellpost still sitting in 8th spot, 2 wins and 3 losses. They've lost a couple of close games, one that we saw a couple of weeks ago against North Geelong, and that man who saw that as well with me is here at Galvin Park this afternoon, David Gus Primer. Good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon, Jason and listeners.
It's becoming a regular occurrence, this Primer Doherty thing.
Oh, they keep throwing all that money at me to come up here, mate. So.
Jeez, they throw it at you, they don't throw it at me. But so it should be an interesting contest this afternoon.
Yeah, I think that probably Werribee are going to be a little bit strong. Bellpost are a little bit depleted. They've got Gary Fairchild out, Batty, Conley, Brett Feldman. Like 4 out of probably their best 10 or a dozen players. So they've. But the thing is, I suppose, the people they've replaced them with are going to be full of enthusiasm. Most of them are young guys, and they'll go hard at it and give it every shot. So we'll just see how things pan out and go from there. One prominent name out of the Werribee side is Heath Buck, their senior captain and assistant coach, who's out with a broken arm and looks to be about 8 weeks worth with the broken arm. So a danger man for Bellpost, still out of the side from the Werribee side. Well-known prolific goal kicker. Prolific goal kicker, Heath Buck, and had kicked 16 up until this round before he broke his arm. So a loss for them, and we see that David Matheson has lined up at full forward for the Werribee Central side. They're kicking to that would be the eastern end, I would think, or probably the southern end of Galvin Park. Well done, that is the southern end, Jason. Southern end, yeah. Yeah, it's got it written behind the goals there. Has it? Oh, yeah, good. Thanks for that. We won't get that. Well, the umpires this afternoon, Mark Nolan and Darren Bench, and Darren Bench has the ball in hand. He starts the GDFL round 6 match of the day, and Sean Stewart with the first big fist from the middle for Werribee Centrals. High tackle there on Kennedy, and advantage paid, not really much advantage for the Centurions. Sean Lewis back there for the Panthers side early, and he gets it wide looking for Bevan Hurst, but the boundary line will beat him over the line, and we'll have a throw in between wing and half forward for the Centurions. They're attacking the southern end, as I said, in this first quarter of Galvin Park. Thrown in, Stewart up against Pollard in the end, but neither can get an effective tap. Sveljak straight through the middle, but taking it away quickly was Kochevatkin. Gets it out wide, can't pick it up there was Masara. Kazina's there also. Jones now up from the reserves this afternoon for the Panthers, and it will be a ball up at centre half forward for the Centurions. Umpire bench throws it up. Stewart goes up early against Delzeal. Brad Martin gets a kick away towards half forward. Lyons backs back. In fact, he was standing there and waiting in support. And running away, the Centurions go towards half forward over the head of a couple. Luddick, can he pick it up? Yes, he can. Good turn on the left boot. Goes long towards full forward. Over the back, Matheson. He's a left footer. He can handball, but he goes for the goal anyway. And maybe he should have handballed to Shane Jack, but he's put it through for one behind. Bit of class there by Luke Luttig. Turned around on his left foot there. Everyone thought he was going to handball out towards the boundary to the runner, just turned him inside out, went straight through the corridor. Pass was just a little bit high. So the first score on the board, and it is to Werribee. They're 1 behind. Bellpost still yet to score. On the Buckley's Gaming Centre first quarter scoreboard. Kicking will come from the joint coach of the side for Bellpost Hill, Brett Pollard. Goes towards Jones and Matthew Lewis. Jones on the second attempt can get it and go left foot towards the wing. Shane Anderson, a young boy up from the under-18s for Bellpost Hill this afternoon, playing his second senior match after making his debut last weekend against Anarchy, and he says it over the boundary line with Scott Lyons right there as well. Stewart comes across against Dalziel. Over the head, though, of both of those ruckmans. Sveljak ripped off the footy by Morley. Coming out quickly is Feldman. Handball to Pollard running past. Good play now. Pollard on the left. Goes long. Good kick too. And, well, that would have been a goal had it not been for a late tackle by Steve Miletto from Bellpost Hill on his Werribee Central's opponent, which getting up is Justin Morley at half-back, and umpire Nolan has seen that. See that, Gus? Oh, yeah, I missed that. I was actually watching Brett Pollard's kick at the goal. Yeah, and then I thought, actually, when I heard the whistle, I thought, oh, well, it's going to be a goal anyway because they're going to play it down the ground. But then I turned back and seen the Werribee bloke laying down on the ground, and I thought, obviously, he's the one that's copped the late shepherd or whatever it was. Yeah, well, it was Morley, and he goes laterally to Beck. Oh, poor kick in the end by Beck across half back there. Illick's there on hands and knees. Quick handball is chopped off, and running through there was Mark, who chopped it off before it could get out to a Bellpost Hill player. They go wide, the Centurions, and it's okay, they're on centre wing.
And taking that mark
Montgomery,
out there. Could be Jacobs, I think, maybe, who goes to centre half forward. Jones from behind stands and takes the mark for the Panthers. Might be able to switch play. He looked on the grandstand side, then goes down the middle. Good kick too, finds Kazina unmarked. Handball quickly towards Adam Martin. Goes wide towards Anderson against Lyons. Both go up, can't get a hand to it. Beck comes across. Anderson and Beck now, one-on-one. Morley in support for the Centurions. Anderson, though, good second effort. Back on Morley, keeps it out of bounds, does well, the young kid. And it will be a boundary thrown at half forward for the Panthers.
Both sides just going to take a little bit of time to settle down. I think the young blokes are full of enthusiasm and ready to fire, and once they start getting into the action a bit, they'll start to get more of the ball.
Should be a good tussle here at half forward. Luke Lutic has Matthew Lewis on him. So a good tussle there. Over the back of the pack, Stewart with a big thump. Running through the middle of the pack there was Morley. He's got some support on the outside. Heard the call, Scotty Johnson, and gave it to him. He goes to the open space of half forward. It's a foot race now. Matty Lewis getting there, but he's hassled off it by Luke Lutic. He can't pick it up. Got a bit of support though. In there fighting hard, was it? Oh, good play by Jack. He gives it off quickly to, I think it might have been Kochevatkin, was it? 39. Montgomery. 39. Just waiting for him to turn round. It's the second point for Werribee Centrals. And they go to 2 behinds. And it's 38 in fact, so that's his Kochevatkin. His first behind, and the second for Werribee. Kick in by Pollard. Good kick too. Looking for and finding Brad Martin at half back. Formerly of Werribee in the VFL, so he knows this area pretty well. Brad Martin goes along towards ball, has to stand in the contest there, and being able to run away with the footing now is Slavinkas. Goes towards half forward, but Pollard's back there, and he takes the mark across half back. Switch play towards Murray. Now he goes short to Matty Lewis. He takes it, can run on now, create something from half back. He slipped over at the crucial stage and dropped the footy, did he? The umpire said play on. He's got some support from Jones. He's wrapped up by Lutic. Still in the middle, Matheson, can't take it with him. Kazina just handballs it to nobody in particular. Running through the middle was Slavinkas. He can't take it with him. In fact, that might be Simon Kelbert with 37 on. And it will be a free kick going to Adam Kazina in the middle for the Panthers. He goes wide towards Jones, who's created something off half-back. Meshes a pass towards Troy Feldman. Good pick up too. Breaks a tackle, gets onto the left, turns around, close to the goal. And it's just through on the other side of the post for 1 behind.
Bit stiff there, Troy Feldman. Turned around onto the left foot. He just didn't have that penetration to push it harder and through the goals. Not a bad build-up there by Bellpost Hill. Jones getting a bit of the ball there.
So the kick in is out wide towards Scotty Johnson in the boundary line. It's out of bounds on the full. Johnson couldn't touch it before it went out of bounds. And it will be a free kick to Tom Sveljak, who's captaining the side this afternoon in the absence of Brett Feldman, who's serving the last week of a suspension. And he'll take it at half forward.
Just looking at Simon Connolly there. I wonder if he's a runner or just in his trackies and T-shirt to have a walk out in the ground.
Trainer, I think he might be.
Trainer, is he?
Trainer.
Oh, he is too. He's turned around. He's got number 7 on his back.
So I don't think he'll be out there for a Sunday afternoon walk, Gus. Well, the kick's been picked off by Lyons there, who gives it by hand to Roland Beck. Goes across half back towards Morley. Second effort, couldn't take it with him. No, Pollard needs a shepherd. Breaks away from a tackle, then goes left foot. Good vision too. Got a couple there. Ball and Feldman. Feldman will get it. Now get on the right foot this time instead of the left. Turns around. High kick again. I think this one might be even wider. In fact, it is, and it's out of bounds on the full. And it will be a free kick to the Centurions in the last line defence to be taken by Peter Jacobs. In the right back pocket, goes towards Peter Gray, who goes up, can't take the mark. Quick kick out of the pack by Kelbert, goes long towards half forward. And Lewis, a good tap away by Matty Lewis as well. Picked up though well by Brad Jewell. Handball. Ripped off the footy there, dropping it. Said the umpire, it's going to go to Justin Morley against Matty Lewis, who dropped the footy. It's on centre wing on the outer side here at Galvin Park. 2 points, player point. The home side in front in the early stages of this first term. Goes towards half forward. Jack up early, can't take the mark. Quick hands, good hands too. Breaking through a couple of tackles was Hawks. Goes long towards Matheson, one out with Rabbis. He's got a bit of support there as well. Kick off the ground's okay. It's a foot race now between Lyons and also Anderson. Lyons will get there first. Anderson pushes him off the footy well. Got a bit of support with Kevin Murray there, does well. Gets it back to Sean Lewis as well. Handball inboard to Murray. They might be able to break away. They do. Towards Hurst at half back. He's got it now. In front of a couple. He needs somebody running past. Oh, he set Anderson to task. And now through the middle, Kennedy is wrapped up by Sean Lewis. They're keeping the pressure on. Hallam, he's wrapped up as well. Then through the footy. Second
Some
effort
good pressure out there by both sides.
It was. And the ball will end up with Brad Martin on centre wing for that throw against Hallam. Good kick too towards Felbin. Good kick. And Felbin can't take the mark though. Getting across there. Gray taps it only as far as Felbin. That's Troy. And he goes towards Pollard. Good pick up too. Breaks away. Handball quickly to Hurst. He can turn around and kick the goal. But he's just pushed off the footy by Hallam at the crucial stage. And Bevan Hurst kicks.
Even the score's up.
Stick with us. We've got the close one.
Interesting to notice that young bloke there, I can't think of his name, he's just pushing up through the half-back. He had the centre to go through the corridor. He opted not to. Probably not such a bad policy at this stage of the game. Bit dangerous there if it gets turned over quickly.
So it's a kick in and centre half back. And it's bottled up, so umpire bench will come in and bounce the ball. Big pack around. At centre half forward for the Panthers. Delzil up early against Stewart, gets it down towards Johnson. Second effort by him's good too, and he gets the footy away. Morley's got it now by hands towards Kennedy. It's topped off by Sean Lewis. Kennedy though goes again over the top towards Hawks, and I think that is Slavinkas. He goes towards Matheson, who comes out, can't take the mark. Direct opponent Rabbis is there on hands and knees now as well. Tries to get it out to the advantage of his defensive teammates. Sean Lewis can't pick it up. Morley, who's been influential already. Matheson through it. No free kick. And keeping the pressure on. Getting around and going towards goal. And I think he might have kicked it. And that might be Kochevatkin, is it? If he turns round. A good kick from pretty hurried pack. No, in fact, it is Shane Jack who has kicked the goal. And the first this afternoon.
Yeah, that was just to push the ball forward, workman-like sort of a goal. There was nothing fancy in it. Just picked it up and had a shot at goal, and he's popped it through. And he scored the first major for the Werribee Centrals.
So it's 1-2-8, the Centurions, and they lead Bell Post Hill, who are
we got the camera on you, Mark.
two behinds. And Mark Nolan, once again, just relaying a couple of messages to the Bell Post Hill box about people standing in the right spot. Stewart gets it down towards Mishara. He can't take it with him. Still in the middle of Galvin Park. Now they break away. And that was through Brad Jewell. Goes towards Matheson. Luddick at the front. Can push it on towards Misari. Does well. Then he gets wrapped up. And then gets wrapped up a second time by Matty Lewis. Drops the footy and will be a free kick to that known player. Matty Lewis can go wide. He does now. Goes to the left boot. Poor kick in the end. It's going to bounce between his brother Sean and Bevan Hurst. Good pick up by Hurst. Kick around the corner. Sets Jack a task. Running through the middle of the pack there was Mark. He can't take it with him. And it's in the middle of Gelvin Park. And we'll have another bounce. So it's 1-2-8 playing two behinds. The Centurions in front. Thrown up. Stewart up early. Taps it out. Misara, quick hands to Hawks, gets his kick away even though he's slung off the ball in a tackle. The mark taken by Ditchburn. And he'll take it just inside the centre square at centre half back. Switches play out wide towards Matty Lewis. It's a good kick too. And was going to go on with it but then stops. He goes short towards Jones. He takes the mark uncontested. So just holding up play. Pretty congested half forward line for the Panthers. He goes long towards Felbin. He can't get him. Lyons is there and Anderson hassles him out of it again. Still in close quarters. Elliott got a trip, did he? Got a hold. We'll take a free kick.
The umpire never even looked there to see where the ball was for the play on advantage.
Tommy had it.
Tommy's running straight into an open goal. And the play hadn't been stopped and he's took it back to where the free kick was paid.
Because he doesn't like a goal, does he? Tommy Speljack.
No, sorry. You reckon? Except for Tommy. Didn't matter, he's put it through anyway.
That's $5, isn't it?
He's put it through for a point.
Yep.
5 to me.
So Illick, one behind, and they go to three behinds, Bell Post Hill, and Werribee Centrals 1-2-8 on the Buckley's Gaming Centre's first quarter scoreboard. Jacobs to do the kick in for the Centurions. And he kicks in towards Stewart against Stone. Stewart through the middle of the pack, still there. Tapped out by Hawks. And the umpire just letting play go here. Lyons can't take it with him. Pollard, handball over the top to Hurst. He tries to ride the tackle. Hallam quickly to Hawks. Wide kick. Going to bounce which way? Out of bounds before Jones can keep it in. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
Brett Pollard getting plenty of the ball in the early stage of this game.
He is playing, obviously, on the ball.
Big assignment for young Brent Stone.
Yeah, up against Sean Stewart, the informed ruckman in the competition. He gets his right hand to it. Kennedy stands in the tackle well, gives it to Musara. He had it, lost it, and then can go backwards. And on the left, just took a little bit of time, and it's going to be chopped off by Brad Martin. Martin now goes wide towards Feldman. Oh, good play, Feldman. Do you pay that mark? No, the umpire says. Ball through the middle. He's got 3 against him. And they're going to be able to get away, the Centurions, are they? Oh, was that a high tackle? No, it's against Werribee, and it's going to go to Casino.
He lifted his arm against the tackle.
Okay, so Adam Casino's got it, goes inboard towards Ehrlich, and he takes a good mark on the lead in front of Jacobs. And Mickey Lick will have another chance from about 40 metres out directly in front to put the Bellpost Hills first goal on the board.
That was a good lead, good kick. And Casino's, he's done a couple of good things in this quarter.
So Mick Illick from 40. Only a couple of step run up, but it's a pretty good kick off the boot. And Mick Illick has kicked his first and the first for Bellpost Hill, and they take the lead. They're 1-3-9, and they lead the Werribee Central side 1-2-8 on the Buckley's Gaming Centre first quarter scoreboard.
There's a couple of good matchups around the ground. We've got Luke Lutic and Matthew Lewis. Paul Rabbis has got a big job down there at full back. And as I said before, I'd be interested in this young bloke against Stewart.
Brent Stone,
yep. I suppose only one way for him to learn.
And that's in the middle against him here. Musara gets it away. Running across Martin, kick off the ground towards centre wing. Kelbert and Miletto in a foot race. Kelbert's going to get there first. Handball backwards, it's okay. Beck, short little kick back inboard towards Justin Morley, who's seen plenty of the ball also. He takes it in the centre. Was going to handball off. Now he plays on, gets onto that familiar left boot, goes long towards Matheson, comes out. And in front getting a hand to it was Jack. Then the clearing kick by the hill, only as far as Hallam, and he takes the mark. Did he play on? Yes, the umpire said he did. And it falls towards Anderson. In front of Lyons, goes with the outside of the right boot towards the half-forward flank. And it's out of bounds now for a throw-in.
What's that, mate?
Yes, we know that, thanks, Grub. Simon Kelbert's wearing 37. Thank you. What number is Conrad Slavinkas wearing? Thank you very much. He's wearing number 4, is he? I wouldn't think so. David Matheson's wearing number 4. Good to see the president knows what he's doing here at the club. Anyway, Hawks. He'll snot me for that later. Goes out wide. Oh, Hallam got one high. Could have been a free kick. None forthcoming.
You'd almost could say that Bellpost still the whole side have got the wrong jumpers on the after what they trained in during the week.
Yeah, they're a bit. They've got some colour in it this time. Boundary throw in. Stone from a long way back. Good tap out two in front of Stewart. Running through was Mark. Gets it to Hawks. He goes high towards Lutic and also Matty Lewis. Johnson in the front. Now Lewis ripped off the footy. Kennedy handball to the call of Musara. Goes to the right boot towards half forward. Gray in front. Martin from behind and just slaps it on towards Lewis. And it's a good punch away.
Good work there by Fats Martin.
Yeah, Adam, who's against Peter Gray. And I heard he kicked 1 goal 8 last week, Peter Gray.
Is that
at
right?
North Geelong. Could have kicked 9 goals from what I heard in a big effort at centre half forward. Boundary throw-in. Stewart gets it down beautifully to Mark. His kick partly smothered by Ryan Jones's head. Lewis tries to tap it on. And close to the boundary line, Miletto and Musara see it over. And we'll have the boundary throw-in right on centre wing in the interchange position here at Galvin Park.
It's interesting to see how these young blokes think. Young Gray there playing down the centre half forward area. They've got Bellpost Hill got a loose man back in that hole, so he's tagging the loose man, so his man has to follow him. So one of the Bellpost Hill blokes should feed off away from him to create a bit of space for himself. It's changing a bit now. He's walking back a bit further.
Yep, just
He had it sorted out there for a minute.
filling that gap between Matheson and the ball now, in between wing and half forward. Stewart against Stone. Stewart gets down with the left hand on this occasion. Falls towards Kennedy at the front of the pack. Now it goes towards Gray. Couple against him. Ditchburn in front. Gray comes from the side. Roved Luddick. He'll finish this off. Don't worry about this. He's 10 metres out. He comes in and he goals.
Yeah, 3 Belpost Hill blokes opposed against 2 there, and Luke Luddick stayed down, read the ball a bit smarter, and obviously it's not wet at the game itself, but the ball's a little bit slippery, so they're not taking them big one grabs and all that sort of stuff, so the ball's going to hit the ground, so he's read it better, and then just ran off and then pushed the goal straight through.
And put the Centurions second on the board. They're 2-2-14, and Belpost Hill are 1-3-9. Buckley's Gaming Centre first quarter scoreboard. We've been playing 8.5 minutes in this first term. Good start by both sides.
Yeah, they're starting to settle down now, I think, Jason, and we'll start to see a bit more freer movement of the footy, and the game will open up a bit.
Back in the middle, Stewart against Stone. Stone with a big thump down on this occasion. Oh, falls over the head of Beck, goes to Kazina. Handball, going to put ball under pressure. He got a high tackle, though, and that was the only thing wrong with that, because he was caught red hot.
Werribee bloke there was just a bit unfortunate. I think it was Justin Morley.
Yep.
He was just a bit unfortunate because he jumped as he was about to tackle him, therefore the tackle got him high.
He goes towards the leader, Felbin. Good kick too by Ball, and he gets it to Troy Felbin. He'll have a shot for goal from about 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. And a chance to put the second goal on the board for Belpost Hill.
He's taken his time, lining up properly, so obviously he's confident of making the distance.
Well, he comes in from 40 metres out. Quick reply here for the Panthers, if he can put it through. Comes in. Well, distance is no worry, but the accuracy certainly is, and one behind once again to Felbin.
Pushed it a bit right there. It certainly wasn't through the lack of concentration. Took plenty of time and steadied, and just pushed it right.
So it's 1-4-10 Belpost Hill, 2-2-14 Werribee. The kick in is okay, finds Jewell. That was Jacobs kicking in. He finds about half back. Stone standing the mark. Needs Stewart against Pollard. That's a big task for Brett Pollard. Stewart in front. Gets a hand to it. Hurst can't take it with him. Stewart just thumps it on. Only as far as Pollard. Ripped off the footy. Played for the free kick. Didn't get it. Handball by Hurst on hands and knees towards Anderson. Stone's there as well. His handball. Hawks. Shepherded by Lyons. Gets a left foot kick away. Only as far as Feljak. Can't take it with him. Morley. Can he? Yes, he can. He gets the handball away beautifully to Simon Calvert. Running through half forward. Mentions a pass towards Matheson, and he can't beat that footy. Good kick by the youngster. Good
footy there. Tommy Veljak overrun the ball. Couldn't turn quick enough to stop get the second effort at it, and I think was it Justin Morley picked that ball up?
It was.
Fed it out, and Simon Calvert, and he's just fed it down the throw to Matheson.
So Matheson playing at full forward today in the absence of Heath Buck. Has put it straight through the middle for his first goal. And the third for Werribee. They're 3-2-20 and they lead Belpost to 1-4-10. Buckley's Gaming Centre first quarter scoreboard.
There's not much in this game, but I think the Werribee, they're in close handballs. The little things around the packs, I think, are a lot more finished than Belpost Hill. Belpost Hill, when they hand the ball out, they seem to be putting their blokes under pressure. And Werribee just getting the right handball at the right time through them little pack situations, which has created 2 of their 3 goals.
So back in the middle, umpire Nolan has the footy. Stewart and Stone. Stewart up a big right fist to Gray. He can run through. Was going to give it to Johnson, but came off the half-back flank, and good running there was by Jack. I think, in fact, it's Hallam. Hallam it was, and he goes towards half forward. It's out of bounds, inside 50.
Got a very good disposal there. He had a bit of time. He knew the bloke had told him he was clear coming from beside him, and he's put it just about out on the full.
How's the thump from Stewart?
Yeah, beautiful.
Throwing, Gray gets it down. Martin, that's Adam, breaks a tackle, goes on the left boot towards centre wing. There he is, the big man. He stands his ground, takes the mark.
It's an ordinary kick by Fats. He's had 2 blokes shorter, and he's opted to go the long option to no contest.
He goes to Stewart, who pumps it back in towards Matheson. Third in line, couldn't take the marks. Feljak could have turned around and just taken a little bit more time, but he pumps it long, coming out and meeting it and running away from Troy Feldman. And that is Kochevatkin, goes towards Matheson again. Good mark, the big man. A little bit tall for Rabbis by the looks of it.
Yeah, I actually think I mentioned it earlier that he's going to. Paul Rabbis has given away a bit of height, and he's got a hard task down there. But Belpost still, a couple of their injury worries are taller players, and they just can't fill them up with blokes out of the seconds.
So Matheson now kicking from 50. He comes in, left footer, kick the last one, not going to make the distance. Gray in front, push by Murray, but getting away, it's okay. Ditch burn, but wide and out of bounds on the full. Free kick to be taken by Simon Kelbert. On the outer side, 50-metre line, in attack the Centurions. They lead 3-2 to 1-4, 10 points of difference. He goes in short. Lewis against Luddick. And, in fact, it's Lutic.
That's a bit of a good contest, that one.
Luddick. Yeah, it will be. Luddick and Lewis.
They're both having a bit to do down there, so...
Gray in front of Stone, gets it down to the front. There he is again. Luddick goes around on that favoured left boot. Matheson can't take the mark. 3 Panthers. One of them, Brett Pollard, takes a bounce, takes another. Can run it out of defence. He's got heaps of time. He can draw a player. He does now to Jones, who falls over at the crucial stage. And coming in was Jewell. And he bottles it up. And I don't think the coach will be too happy with that.
Yeah, well, it's a couple of times he slipped over that bloke. And
so you got the moulds on.
Yeah, well, yeah, you want to have the short stops, wouldn't you?
Sveljak ripped off by Johnson, goes through the middle. Stone taken away, good play there too by Jack, gets it to Kennedy. Sorry, it's Jewell in fact, but in front on this occasion Matty Lewis.
No, I was just getting a bit excited about something happening in the crowd there, I think.
Unbelievable. Goes laterally to Brett Pollard on the grandstand half-back flank, goes inboard looking for Hurst, but Stewart in front, can't take the mark. Through the middle, Sean Lewis. He's got 3 Werribee Central's players against him. Scott Johnson's one of them, but Lewis does well to keep it in there, and it will be a ball up on centre wing.
Belpost Hill had plenty of the ball. They're just not doing enough with it when they get it. They're not picking their right options, picking blokes out with their vision. They're kicking a contest where there shouldn't be contests, and they're just wasting their opportunities.
Stewart with another knock down towards Kennedy, close to the boundary line. Hawks and Pollard. Pollard in front, can't keep it in. Just wants to see it over the boundary line. Does so in front of the guest video commentary box. Don't forget, if you're listening on 94.9 Guest FM this afternoon, where it's round 6, it's the GDFL match of the day. Just a break in play while the footy comes back from over the boundary. It'll be Stewart and Stone. Back with the boundary umpire. Not happy either. Good to see. He's got a bit of an attitude for a boundary umpire. Stewart gets it down. Sveljak running onto a ball as well. And Kazina pushed off the footy. Through the middle, Stewart. Sveljak just rams through. Anderson taps it on well. Falls towards Hallam. Handball. Heard the call from Morley, so he gave it to him. And now Justin Morley from half-back goes towards Jack. Good mark against Murray.
Just run Bull Murray under the ball there and just stuck behind him and took the mark.
Gives it off to Simon Kelbert, who runs through the middle, goes wide towards Lutic. Now Kennedy, he can shepherd for him. He goes on the right boot, centres the footy to Matheson against Rabbis. Matheson stands, takes a very good mark in front of the 10-metre goal square, and will kick from about 14 metres out for Werribee's 4th goal.
Just a bit of smartness there by Luke Luddick. He just pushed Matthew Lewis under the ball a little bit, just out here on the flank, knowing that the bloke was running along behind him there, which was Lusak, was it? Is that how you pronounce it?
No, don't think he's playing this afternoon. Good work.
I got the wrong number then.
You have? Well done.
Yep.
No, that was Kennedy, actually.
Kennedy,
43,
I was watching how Luke Lutic was thinking, actually, more than the bloke running off the ball, and I thought he'd done a pretty good effort. As I said, he worked Matthew Lewis under it, pushed him forward so the ball came over the back and give the bloke running behind him the open space. Then the ball was centred and Matheson took the mark.
And that's his 2nd goal. Werribee's 4th. They're 4-2-26. They lead Belpost to a 1-4-10 on the Buckley's Gaming Centre first quarter scoreboard. And we've been playing 17 and a half minutes in this first term.
Swap Jones down to full back.
Well, there's the change then. Yep, so Stewart in the middle. Again. Martin, that's Adam. Little toe poke by Jewell. Goes as far as Ball. He goes long towards Illick, and Jacobs one out. Illick now, if it sits for him, Jacobs does well to push it here. And the ball towards the boundary line. And it's out of bounds in the right forward pocket for the Panthers. So Jones at fullback on Matheson. And where's Rabbis gone to?
He's up here
Gus?
on the wing.
Up here on the wing on Scotty
I'd
Johnson.
say he's playing on the half-back and just followed his man up to the wing.
Yep. So it's a boundary throw-in. In front, taking it out there was Mark. Close to the boundary line. The Centurions break away. Hallam's got it. His handball's good to Beck. On the left boot, Roland Beck goes towards centre wing. Oh, good mark too against Lewis there. It was Luddick. Luddick now. Handballs off to Beck, who continued to run. He's just inside the centre square, goes towards centre half forward. Rabbis against Gray. Rabbis does well. And the second effort too. So he might be freed up a little bit there at half back and breaks away. Now he goes towards Kelbert. And also over there was Brad Martin. Goes towards ball. He had it and then lost it and got it again. Can handball to Matty Lewis, who's free in the middle. Gives it to him. He goes on the left boot. Gets crunched as he gets his kick away, but it's okay. And goes to Tommy Sveljak. Sveljak could have gone short to Pollard. Now he has to hold it up. He's got Anderson wide. He goes in that direction now. And the youngster will be able to take the mark over the head. And will kick from about 40 metres out. Now, if he wants a game next week, I reckon he just tries to pop in the pocket there to Brett Pollard.
Yeah, then he's kicking on his wrong foot from the wrong pocket.
Okay, so he'll go for goal. He just centres the ball. It's a good kick off the boot. Stewart's up there. Oh, good mark.
Too big.
And Sean Stewart in the last line of defence for the Centurions plays on now. Goes with a loping left foot kick towards the centre wing position. It's his opposite number out there, Brent Stone. He gets ripped off the footy by Morley. Beck's over there in support for the Centurions as well. On hands and knees does well to Morley. He handballs off to Jewel. And now Jewel can get it inboard towards Musara. Has to sit and wait. He does. He went right, then went left. Handballed it back towards Kelbert. And he continues to run. Still on centre wing now. They go long towards centre half forward. Johnson, Rabbis with the run. Matheson from behind. Can't take the mark. Rabbis keeps his feet. Handball. Heard the call from Hurst and gave it to him. He's at centre half back. Goes wide towards ball. Good kick too. They can set something up here, the Panthers. And Craig Ball. He can't do so, because that is the worst siren I've ever heard. It went for about 0.7 of a second.
Sound like the protest siren of the Trots, didn't it?
But it is quarter time, and it's 4-2-26 Werribee Centrals, and bell post till 1-4-10. The goal kickers for Werribee. 2 to David Matheson and 1 each to Shane Jack and Luke Luddick, while for bell post 2 their goal being kicked by Mick Illick. So it's 16 points of difference. Quickly, just a summation of that first quarter, Gus.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned before, I think Werribee doing better around the packs, therefore pushing the ball forward quicker. And bell post still just don't seem to be hitting the target. When they have got a clear run, they seem to go back and hold it up, which gives the Werribee blokes time to get back and make a contest of it rather than moving it quicker. And I think if bell post still are going to win the game, they're going to have to move the ball quick, because Werribee are pretty quick actually, and they've got to catch them out of when they're out of position. But yeah, the game it's still in the balance. So obviously, it's only quarter time. There's plenty of work to do with both sides yet, and there's plenty to work on. I think probably bell post still. Young Sean Lewis and Thomas Velchik might have to do a little bit more up through the corridor there, especially Sean Lewis with his pace to match the Werribee guys running through the corridor. If you notice Werribee coming out of the back line there, they've pushed wide to the wing a lot of times, but also centred the ball through the corridor between half-back and centre to push it forward. So yeah, interesting contest, and both teams having a bit of a break now, get a bit of a breather.
So as the Centurions 4-2-26, they lead bell post 2-1.